Hi viewers, welcome back. In this session, I'm going to continue the second part of gas transport of carbon dioxide. So, carbon dioxide transport mean, suppose this form the systemic tissues. Here, by the utilization of oxygen, carbon dioxide produced as a metabolic waste is a byproduct of metabolism. This produced carbon dioxide is diffuses to the capillary surrounding this tissue. This carbon dioxide diffuses to the capillary surrounding this tissue. And through this capillary, this carbon dioxide transported to where? This carbon dioxide transported to the capillary surrounding alveoli. Transported to the capillary surrounding this alveoli. And from this capillary, this carbon dioxide diffuses to the alveoli and eliminated to the atmosphere by the process of expiration. So here this is the transport of carbon dioxide from systemic tissues to alveoli. This carbon dioxide transported from systemic tissues to the capillary surrounding alveoli in three forms. So this carbon dioxide transported in three forms. First one, in dissolved state. So first one in dissolved state. Second form as carbaminohemoglobin. Then third one as bicarbonates. These three forms carbon dioxide transported from systemic tissues to alveoli. So carbon dioxide transported in dissolved state or as carbaminohemoglobin and as bicarbonate. So first one in dissolved state. About 7% of carbon dioxide transported in dissolved state through the water in plasma as well as blood cells. So 7% of carbon dioxide transported in dissolved state. So here near the tissue where the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is very higher. At this high partial pressure of carbon dioxide, water combined with the carbon dioxide. At this high PCO2, water combined with the carbon dioxide to form carbonic acid. Okay. So it takes place at high pressure. In the high PCO2, water combined with the carbon dioxide to form carbonic acid, as like our soda water. And it transported to the capillary surrounding alveoli. And in the form of bicarbonate, this carbon dioxide transported to the capillary surrounding alveoli. So near the alveoli, where the PCO2 is low, near the alveoli, partial pressure of carbon dioxide is lesser. So in this low PCO2, this carbonic acid is unstable. In this low PCO2, it is not stable. Soon this carbonic acid dissociates to form water and carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide diffuses to the alveoli and eliminated by expiration. This is the transport of carbon dioxide in dissolved state. Only 7% of carbon dioxide transported in this dissolved state. Second form is carbaminohemoglobin. That is about 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide transported as carbaminohemoglobin. About 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide transported by the hemoglobin in our RBC. About 20 to 25% carbon dioxide transported by the hemoglobin in RBC as carbaminohemoglobin. That means in chemical combination with the hemoglobin. We know about hemoglobin. Hemoglobin can carry oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. but the carbon dioxide transported by the protein part of the hemoglobin, because this carbon dioxide binded to the amino end of that polypeptide chain, and about 20 to 25 percentage of this carbon dioxide transported by the hemoglobin in this carbamino hemoglobin form. So near the tissue, near the systemic tissues where the PCO2 is higher, in the high PCO2 hemoglobin has an affinity to this carbon dioxide. As a result, in this high PCO2 hemoglobin combined with the carbon dioxide to form this carbamino hemoglobin. But it is not stable. This carbamino hemoglobin is not stable. Near the tissue in this high PCO2, this carbon dioxide combined with the hemoglobin to form carbamino hemoglobin. But when it is transported to the capillaries surrounding the alveoli. So near the alveoli, we know the PCO2 is lesser. Near the alveoli, PCO2 is lesser, or in other means where the PO2 is higher. So near the alveoli, when this carbamino hemoglobin reaches the capillaries surrounding alveoli, we know when the oxygen bind on the heme part of the hemoglobin, what happened? The bond between the carbon dioxide and hemoglobin broken, which causes the dissociation of hemoglobin from the carbon dioxide. So near the alveoli where the PCO2 is low as well as the PO2 is higher. So by the binding of oxygen to hemoglobin, that means the formation of oxyhemoglobin near the alveoli. The formation of oxyhemoglobin means when oxygen bind on this hemoglobin, what happened? The bond between hemoglobin and carbon dioxide broken, causes the dissociation of hemoglobin and carbon dioxide. So near the alveoli, this carbamino hemoglobin dissociated from hemoglobin and carbon dioxide. So this carbamino hemoglobin formation is also reversible. It is not stable. This is the transport of carbon dioxide in the form of carbamino hemoglobin. Then third form. About 70% of carbon dioxide transported as bicarbonate. 70% of carbon dioxide transported as bicarbonate form. See, suppose this one is a capillary surrounding the systemic tissue. The capillary passes through the systemic tissue. And this is a RBC inside this capillary, and this part is plasma part. And we know RBC contain an enzyme called as carbonic anhydrase enzyme. It's a single containing enzyme in RBC, carbonic anhydrase enzyme. And in this systemic tissue, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is higher. We know the PCO2 is higher near the capillary surrounding tissue. At this high PCO2, within the RBC of the capillary surrounding this tissue, carbon dioxide combined with the water in RBC and form carbonic acid. With the help of the enzyme, this carbonic anhydrase, with the help of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase. So the enzyme carbonic anhydrase catalyzes the formation of carbonic acid from water and carbon dioxide. So within the RBC, with the help of carbonic anhydrase enzyme, water combined with the carbon dioxide to form carbonic acid. And so this carbonic acid dissociate to form proton H plus and bicarbonate within the RBC. See here, by the action of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase, large amount of carbonic acid formed. And almost this carbonic acid dissociate to form H plus and bicarbonate with the help of the same enzyme carbonic anhydrase. This carbonic acid dissociate to form proton and bicarbonate, H plus and bicarbonate. So with the help of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase enzyme, this carbonic acid dissociated. As a result, large amount of bicarbonate as well as protons or H plus formed in this RBC. See, when this H plus or proton releases, what happened? The pH of the blood decline. The blood become more acidic. But we know we have different types of buffers in our blood for maintaining the pH of the blood. So different types of buffers. Different types of buffers in RBC also. RBC having the buffers like a bicarbonate, hemoglobin, etc. See here, RBC have a buffer like a hemoglobin. Hemoglobin act as a buffer in our blood. So we have hemoglobin in RBC. When this H plus ion releases, this released H plus ion then combined with the hemoglobin. This released H plus ion then combined with the hemoglobin to form hemoglobinic acid. From hemoglobinic acid. So this hemoglobinic acid formed in the RBC. This is the buffering. Hemoglobin act as a buffer and maintain the pH of this blood. So near this capillary surrounding alveoli, hemoglobin combined with the H plus ion and form the hemoglobinic acid. But by this dissociation of carbonic acid to H plus and bicarbonate, not only H plus, this bicarbonate ion concentration also increases in RBC. Along with the H plus ion, this bicarbonate ion concentration also increases in RBC. When this bicarbonate ion concentration increases, this bicarbonate ion, when their concentration increases, their rate of diffusion will also increases. So this bicarbonate ion diffuses from this RBC to plasma. See here, by the action of the enzyme carbonic anhydrase, carbonic acid dissociate to form H plus and bicarbonate. This H plus get combined with the hemoglobin to form hemoglobinic acid. But large amount of bicarbonate are also here formed. This bicarbonate then, this formed a large amount of bicarbonate here formed, and this bicarbonate then diffuses from RBC to plasma. Before this shifting of bicarbonate from RBC to plasma, there is a chemical equilibrium in between plasma and RBC. So when this bicarbonate shifted from RBC to plasma, resulted a momentary chemical equilibrium change in between RBC and plasma. So to retain this lost balance, the chloride ion from RBC, the chloride ion from plasma, to retain this balance, the chloride ion from plasma shifted from plasma to RBC. The chloride ion from plasma shifted from plasma to RBC called as chloride shift. Called chloride shift or Hamburger's phenomenon or Hamburger's effect. Chloride shift or Hamburger's effect is chloride ion shifted from plasma to RBC. So we know 70% of carbon dioxide transported in the form of this bicarbonate through the plasma. So here this bicarbonate formed in the RBC are shifted to the plasma, and in the form of this bicarbonate, this carbon dioxide transported to the capillary surrounding alveoli. Then we already stated about 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide transported by hemoglobin. See here, near the capillary surrounding this alveoli, some of this hemoglobin combined with, that means about 25% of carbon dioxide by this hemoglobin, combined with the carbon dioxide also and form carbaminohemoglobin. So near this capillary surrounding alveoli, the carbaminohemoglobin also formed in RBC. See here, the hemoglobinic acid, carbaminohemoglobin are formed in RBC, then bicarbonate are shifted from plasma. So this blood is then transported to the capillaries surrounding this alveoli. This blood is transported to the capillaries surrounding this alveoli. And through the blood, This bicarbonate transported to this capillary surrounding alveoli through the plasma. This bicarbonate is transported to the capillary surrounding alveoli through the blood plasma. So through the blood plasma, this bicarbonate reaches the capillary surrounding alveoli. So 70% of carbon dioxide transported in the form of bicarbonate through the plasma. And we know, near the capillary surrounding tissue, the hemoglobinic acid formed in RBC. The hemoglobinic acid formed in RBC. That means this hemoglobinic acid also reaches the capillary surrounding alveoli through this RBC. See, not only hemoglobinic acid, this carbaminohemoglobin also transported to this capillary surrounding this alveoli through the blood. But we know, near the capillary surrounding alveoli, the PCO2 is lesser, but PO2 is higher. So when the partial pressure of oxygen is higher, hemoglobin has a higher affinity for oxygen than this H plus and carbon dioxide. As a result, when oxygen bound on this hemoglobin near the capillary surrounding alveoli where the PO2 is higher, so when this oxygen bound on this hemoglobin, what happened? The bond between H plus and carbon dioxide broken. Because this hemoglobinic acid as well as carbaminohemoglobin is not stable. There is a weak bond between this hemoglobin and H plus as well as hemoglobin and carbon dioxide. So when oxygen bound on this hemoglobin, it causes the breaking of bond between this H plus and hemoglobin and H plus and carbon dioxide. So when this hemoglobin bound on this oxygen, what happened? The oxyhemoglobin formed. And this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces H plus ion. Because when oxygen bound on this hemoglobin, this H plus unloaded from hemoglobin. So this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces H plus ion. Not only H plus ion, here this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces. When oxygen bound on this hemoglobin, the carbon dioxide also displaced from this hemoglobin. So this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces carbon dioxide also. So near the capillary surrounding alveoli, this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces H plus and carbon dioxide. Or near the capillary surrounding alveoli, this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces H plus ion, means this oxyhemoglobin acts as a strong acid near the capillary surrounding alveoli. See, here this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces H plus. When this H plus ion displaces, what happens? The pH decline. Blood become acidic. So near the capillary surrounding alveoli, this oxyhemoglobin behave like a strong acid. Because this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces H plus ion as well as carbon dioxide. When this H plus ion releases, the pH will decline. This is known as Haldane effect. This is called Haldane effect. So what is Haldane effect? Near the capillary surrounding alveoli, oxyhemoglobin formation displaces H plus and carbon dioxide from hemoglobin, and there is a momentary change in the pH of the blood. That means the blood becomes little acidic. That condition is known as Haldane effect. What is Haldane effect? Near the capillary surrounding alveoli, this oxyhemoglobin formation displaces H plus ion and carbon dioxide. And there is a momentary change in the pH of the blood by displacing H plus ion. The blood becomes acidic. Thereby this oxyhemoglobin acts as a strong acid. This is called as Haldane effect. So here this H plus ion displaces. H plus ion releases. See, H plus ion releases means the blood becomes acidic. In addition to hemoglobin, this RBC also have other buffers. this RBC already have bicarbonate. This bicarbonates of RBC, not this bicarbonate, the bicarbonates of RBC also act as buffers. So here, when this H plus ion releases from this hemoglobin, this released H plus ion is combined with the bicarbonates of RBC, combined with the bicarbonates of RBC. This released H plus ion combined with the bicarbonates of RBC and form carbonic acid. But we know near the capillary surrounding alveoli, PCO2 is low. In this low PCO2, this carbonic acid is not stable. Soon this carbonic acid dissociate to form water and carbon dioxide. This carbonic acid dissociate to form water and carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide is diffuses to the alveoli and eliminated. But our transported bicarbonate is here. So here, to compensate the bicarbonate used in this RBC, to compensate the bicarbonate used here, the bicarbonate from this plasma transported to here to compensate the bicarbonate used in RBC. So for compensating the bicarbonate used in the RBC, these bicarbonates are shifted from plasma to RBC and retain the ionic concentration in this RBC. That means these used bicarbonates are here compensated by adding bicarbonate from this plasma to RBC. Actually, this bicarbonate are transported back here, and these bicarbonate are used for the formation of this carbonic acid, and carbonic acid dissociated from water and carbon dioxide, this carbon dioxide eliminated. So 70% of carbon dioxide transported in this bicarbonate form. Okay, so this is the transport of carbon dioxide in bicarbonate form, carbaminohemoglobin form, and in dissolved state. Okay, so we completed the gas transport in this session.